Okay, here's the next step. We're going to put our zip in. Now I'm going to take you slowly through this, okay, because I know for a lot of people, and I used to be one of them, zips were terrifying. So let me, sorry, stuff behind me. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is I've trimmed my interfacing back, but I need to take it back just a bit more because otherwise it bulks up your seams. Okay, so I'm just going to peel back the front, if you like, and I'm going to take, for me, about 1 centimetre off. Okay, a 1/4 inch I think that's equates to. So let me just, so I don't want this in my seams basically because it really does bulk them out and it doesn't make them very attractive. So I'll get rid of that one. Sorry, this won't fit in screen, but come on, behave. I can see the bottom line, but I can't see the top one. Oh. Right. And this one. I say all we're doing is reducing the bulk that will be in our seam. If not, I mean, you haven't got to do it, it's up to you, but I prefer to do it because it just gives you a neater job at the end of the day. So let's just take that one off there. Really awkward with all the stitching and the 3D stuff. Okay, and then the last bit, yeah, I'll take it off. I was just thinking the zip's going to go there, but I'm going to take it off because I think even there it will make it quite bulky. So let's just whip it off. It doesn't take a second. You can see how dodgily cut my interfacing was now. Right, so basically our seams will be clear now. Alright, so when we start stitching, we're going to have nice non-bulky seams. Right, I'll pause you while I do the other one because otherwise it'll drive you insane. Won't be a sec. Okay, that's both of them done now. Just trimmed back the second one. Alright, a little bit might get caught in the seams, but you know, at least the big bulk of it has gone. Now the thing I've got to remember is to get this orientated on each piece because I do have an up and down. Well, you watch, I'm going to mess it up, but anyway. Right, so next thing I want to do is mark my 1 inch box bottoms. So the way I do it is I've got a quilting ruler and I do it this way. I lay it up 1 inch, 1 inch, and then I just, there's a heat erasable pen. You can do it with a pencil because basically this mark, it will go into the seam anyway. So if you haven't got a heat erasable, don't worry about it, okay? Just use a pen. Right, come on Susan, remember to get your stuff in the right way. Alright, so you just do that on all your pieces. Now I've also, I'll just quickly do this with you. Make sure I get it on the right bit. Yep, that's fine. And you need to do it on your lining as well. Normally I'll just chop it out. I'm just marking it just to show you guys really. Right, okay. So that's the main pieces. Now I've got my lining pieces. I was going to do it in that fabric there, but I didn't have enough, so I found a grey spotty one. So that will do fine. That will do fine. So same on here. Just going to mark it. You need to decide now if you want an internal pocket. If you do, stitch it on now. I'm not going to bother. I don't, am I? Do I need one? No, I don't think I do. No, I don't need an internal pocket. But if you do decide you want one, let me just grab a bit of fabric here. It's not very big. Right, so if you wanted an internal pocket, the way I do mine, oh, it's a messy bit, isn't it? Just tidy that up. So what I would do is get 2 pieces. It's easy to do with 2 pieces, strangely. Okay. Obviously it would be a square. You don't need me to show you that. Right, so pretend that's a square. No frilly bit of it. And what I do is, on the sewing machine, I sew all the way round. I'd start here, all the way round, end here, back stitch, turn it through. Okay, so you'd end up obviously with a nice stitch pocket. I tend to then do a top stitch along the top here. Yeah, top stitch along the top, because that just gives it a nice neat image. Place it on one of your lining pieces. Okay, don't use 2, whatever you do, just 1 piece. Line it up, get your top stitching looking nice, and then from your top stitch go backwards and forwards here, come down. You'd have your gap here. Okay, so make sure that's all turned in, and then catch that in the top stitching along there and along there. All you do is top stitching it on basically, and then if you want to, you can divide the pocket in half and you'll have 2 little pockets there if you want one. If you don't, ignore that step completely. Right, so for my aiming screen, let's just double check. Yeah, right, so all you got to do now is chop these out. There is a way, you don't have to do it this way. What you can do is stitch your bag all the way, you get it all done, and then before you turn it through, you'd have a side seam here and a side seam here. You pick it up, pinch it, and then cut it, and then sew across to do your box bottom. I'm not doing it that way. I have learned that I like to do it this way. I find it much neater, and somehow I find it quicker, and you haven't got to worry too much about the matching up the side seam malarkey, but I'll show you that when we get there. So I'm just chopping these out, as you can see, with the biggest pair of scissors in the world, but they're also my sharpest. Whoa, steady. Right, okay, so you just chop them out. Keep those if you want, or do something with them, it's up to you. Alright, so it looks like that. Okay, so we do exactly the same with the front and the back. Now double check, yeah, we are definitely up the right way, so this is definitely the bottom, because you could change it before you cut if you've marked the wrong end, especially if it's a heat erasable pen. Right, I'm just going to chop a little bit of that back as well, so it's not in my seams. So here we'll do the same again. Again, I'm just going to chop that back a tad. Alright, I'm going to do exactly the same with this, and then I'm going to set my sewing machine up. Okay, so just, I'll pause you, won't be long. Forgot to talk to you about the zip before I put the sewing machine up. Okay, I have got, this was the, I thought that went the best. I have got a grey one, but it looked a bit odd, so I'm thinking that will disappear, okay, when I stitch it. It's enormous. I always buy my zips super long. I think it's 24 inches. I just do, because I never know quite what project I'm going to do next, so I just buy the biggest, and that's that. So just shift that one out there. Okay, so the way I do zips now is, for me it's the easiest way. I hope it is for you as well. Now let me make sure you're completely in screen. You are. Right, so this is the up side of the zip, the one with the tab, okay, or the thingy. All right, so what you need to do is get the top of your bag, flip your zip, okay, just say that mantra, flip the zip, okay, flip it over, line it up with the top of your bag. I think you can see, yeah. All right, then grab your lining, or one piece of your lining anyway. Doesn't matter if you do put a pocket on, it's up to you if you want it. Well, it doesn't matter where it goes, does it really? Okay, so grab your lining and now, okay, that's the front, sorry, that's the facing, this is the back of the spotty fabric. So I want to place it face down. So you flip your zip and then face to face. All right, there's little mantras that I say to myself. I think they help me, maybe not. Okay, and you need to line up. You need to line up the top of your lining with the top of the zip, which is really hard to do when you're trying to look around the camera. Alright, just line those two up. Okay, like that. That looks a bit short because it's laying over bumpy stuff. And then get your, I've got wonder clips. You can use pins, it is completely up to you. I'll put those there so you can see them. Alright, and then I'm just going to clip. Probably 3 clips will be enough. It's not very big bag. Just make sure they're lined up with the flipped zip. Okay, now then, when we started this, I said to you, I'm going to make what I call it a wide mouth bag. And that means that you don't sew right to the end of your zip. If you don't do that, they stay outside of the bag. I did show you. Let me grab that bag again. Right, so your zip stays outside of your bag. All right, so the reason we don't sew right up to the end here is so that this can poke out. All right, so we can put it out, and then we haven't got that. It can look a bit nasty, look a bit untidy when it all tucks inside. It's up to you how you do your zip. There are lots of ways of doing it. I like this method because for me it looks the neatest, and the bag opens right wide. Okay, you're not restricted by the seams. Let me just demo that because you're probably thinking what. So okay, you open your bag, and then because it's not stitched into the seams here, all right, your bag will open right out. Okay, right open, and for me that is usable. All right, any questions, just let me know. I'm thinking, am I making sense? I think I am. So in order to do a wide open bag, we do not want to sew right to the end like we normally would. Okay, we need to stop in a bit. Now I just do it by eye normally, but let's see if we can get some sort of a measurement. So let's say 1/2 inch. That should be plenty. My head is going to get in the way, I do apologise, but so if you just put a dot 1/2 inch from where your fabric ends, all right, so you're going to stitch from there to within 1/2 inch of this end. That should be plenty, 1/2 inch. Okay, actually that end, okay, let me just do that again. I do apologise, for some reason my, right, I'm going to put it there and cross that one, cross it out. This has got an extra bit on the end, extra 1/4 inch there, so I don't want to do that. So 1/2 inch, which is about there. Okay, so you sew from dot to dot. Do that on when we sew this side, and then when we flip it over and do the other side, we're going to do exactly the same again. Okay, you do not go to the end of your zip. Right, I shall pause you, get the sewing machine in. So this is the easiest way that I've found to do it. The next bit I'll have to do kind of on my lap, but I'll show you as best as I can because the machine's going to be here. Won't be long. Okay, we're back at the machine. I think you can see all right. Okay, I'm not actually going to change my foot to the presser foot. Can you actually see? Let me get you down a little bit more. Because on my machine I have a facility there to actually change this, and that moves the needle down here left and right. Okay, so I've got my zip here ready to come in. Sorry, I'll put you back in a normal position in a minute. And what I'm going to do is move my needle, which I don't think you can see. Let me see if I can get you down. Yeah, there's my needle. I'm going to move it right across by, sorry, big finger in the way. Go on, refocus, thank you. Right, I can never remember which way I need to do it. Is it up or down? No, it's the other way. Right, so I need to move it right over. Okay, it's as far over that side as it can go. So that way I can just use my normal presser foot at the side and it's going to come down. Oh, don't go out of focus. It's going to come down here, alright? But remember, we've got that dot. I need to start there. So I'm going to come out of there, go in there. Let me lift you up a bit because it's going to keep going out of focus with my arm. Okay, so I'm just going to stitch, starting at my dot. Please don't keep going out of focus. Slow it down a bit because it's on super fast. Backwards and forwards. Remove the clip and just stitch. Put your zipper foot on if you want to. It's completely up to you. I kind of like this method now. It's so much easier. You haven't got to faff around, keep changing feet all the time. Okay, remember we got to stop at this dot, okay, to give us that 3/4 of an inch, half an inch rather, space. Okay, backwards and forwards, and that's it. 1/2 of our zip is in. Okay, it's not terribly close to the zip itself, the zipper tape. You can get it closer if you want to, it's up to you, but I find that all right actually, it doesn't bother me. The only way to get it closer is to put your zipper foot on, but I don't mind that. Right, so let me see if I can push this back a bit. Oh, sorry. Sewing machine feet. Okay, so now this time we're going to have the zip up, okay? So it's flip the zip and then right sides together. This time it's zip up, okay? Have it up facing you. Grab your other front. Now, like I say, if you haven't done the box bottom like this, you're going to think, right, which way, you know, make sure you get your orientation in the right way, because you will kick yourself if you don't. Okay, so we're going to, again, we've done this before, but we're going to line it up with the top of our zip and at the sides here with our piece underneath. Sorry, this lighting, it's getting a bit late in the afternoon. Let me just see if the ring light will show the shine there. That's a little bit better. All right, so you need, right, there's the right side of that one, so we need the right side of the other side facing that, and then at the top of the zip, and we need to make sure that's lined up. Okay, and then also you can do them individually, it's up to you, but I just learnt to do them all together. So I'm going to get my lining piece. Again, I've got my notched at the bottom, so I know that is the bottom of the bag. So I'm going to line that up underneath, you can see there. Okay, again, lining it up, and then we're going to put a clip. All right, and that's that holding on. So we're going to move down to the middle of the zip. I'm going to take the lining, line that up there. Same again. hard to do holding it up, sorry. Oh, stay in screen, Susan. Okay. Don't worry about where your thing is at the moment, okay? We don't need to worry about that. We are just stitching the zip together, all right? So again, you mark yours if you want to. I'm going to sort of roughly guesstimate mine because that's kind of the way I roll. So I'm just going to move you back there. Should be okay. Okay, so the needle is right over still, which is just where I need it. Okay. Oh, nearly. See, filming and doing this doesn't go together. Right, I'm about a quarter of an inch away. I'll just go again. Just gonna pull my lining down a bit because I can see it sticking out up there. Don't want that. Check my zip. Yeah, I've gone a bit wonky. Okay, how did that happen? Let's get you back up here. It's because I was doing it, holding it up, I think. So, I'll blame that. That eighth of an inch really wouldn't make much difference, but sorry, I know that's really loud and I do apologise, but slow it down a bit so it's not deafening. This edge of this foot is just running, I can feel it's running along the edge of the zip. Okay, remember we've got to stop about there. Why are you going so wonky? It needs cleaning. Take it out, and basically you have now put your zip in. Right, it's in. This is quite a wide one actually. I might go back. Shall I? No, I think I'll leave it. Okay, so you'll have this now. Basically you've got like a I can't show you, can I? Unless I lift you up a bit. Let me lift you up. You see my messy floor then. Right. Let me pause you. Right, so this is what you should have, okay? So we've got our where are you? We've got our two lining pieces, our two top pieces, and our zip in there. Okay. Now we should have these will be loose, okay, and that's what we need to do our wide open bag. Right, so what you need to do now, lift you up a bit because you're not seeing all of this. I don't know if it'll stay there. My springs have gone. Okay, so what you're going to do is lift up your two fronts, put them together, and then flip, and your linings will go together as normal. Alright, so open this again, and what you need to do now is get these tucked in, okay, out of the way, because we're going to do our seams now. So what I tend to do is, if I can find my pin cushion, there it is, I tend to pin these because the amount of times I've accidentally sewn them in. So I've only got like the top here, okay, the two lining pieces are over there out of the way, so all I'm doing is pulling that through. Come back here. It doesn't want to do it, so you have to fight it a bit. I'm just going to pull that back here and pin it there so that it doesn't get caught, because when we sew the side seams it can get caught. Alright, so we do exactly the same here. Pull it back and just basically pin it so it doesn't get caught. Make sure the head of your pin is in the inside of your bag so that you're not going to get that caught in the seams either. Dead easy now. Put your two fronts back together, and what we're going to do, see, this is weirdness here. We're going to pick these up, and it is a fight. Do it the other way if you just don't think this is you. Okay, just do it the other way, that's fine. So all I'm going to do is put a... This is a particularly stubborn zip, it does not want to bend. I'll put a clip there. It's really hard to do when the camera's in your face. Right, there. Okay, I'm going to come down here, make sure these all line up. It might need a bit of jiggery pokery, but we can do it. I say use pins if you like pins. I don't. I always manage to stab myself when there's pins around. You've seen me sewing. Right, again, just pull those through. Just hoping I've left enough room there, actually. We shall see. Oh, come on, come on, come on. Behave. Oh, I've gone a bit close there. Oh, let's see what we can do. Pull that up to there to meet there. Okay, hopefully corners here meet. And one for the bottom. When I get to the machine I will have to play around with that one, but as long as that zip in there doesn't get caught in the seam, we're fine. That's all we've got to do. I might have to just clip that there because that does look a little bit tight. You can always go back and amend. Of course, I happen to have done a thread that exactly matches my zip, which now I'm regretting. Just going to take back a couple of stitches. And that should ease that considerably. It's best you see how, you know, even those that have made about 1 million of these bags can still mess it up. Right, that's much better. There's just 2 stitches, that was all. It can make all the difference, because that's, I guess that's about 1/8 of an inch, isn't it? Alright, so just do exactly the same with your lining. Okay, with your lining, this is where I do tend to use a couple of pins, because I always forget. You need to leave an opening. Now you can leave it at the bottom or at the side. It's completely up to you. Sometimes the side is neater, believe it or not. But what should I do? No, I'm going to go side. Let's do the side one and I'll show you that. It's dead easy. It's exactly the same. So you need to leave yourself, I usually try 4 fingers-ish. A gap about that. Okay. So that way when we start sewing, we can start here. But let me show you, hang on. Okay, so there we are. Now with this method of box bottom, you need to sew here, stop, come over here, start again. Sew all the way down there, stop. So from here, get it in screen, so from here all the way up to there, stop, start again here, same again, down there, across there, up there and stop. All right. I think I'm going to stop there and we'll do the stitching in the next one, all right? Because I don't want these to be too long. Play around with that zip. Remember, when you do the first side, you want your front facing up. Flip your zip so that the pull bit is underneath, and then put your lining on top face down, stitch along the zip. When you turn it over the other way, you want your zip facing up, and then you put, I'm getting warm, excuse me for blowing my hair. Yep, so when you've done one side, you have your zip facing up, but you do exactly the same again. You put your, hang on, am I describing that right? You saw me do it. Yeah, so you put it, I'm having a moment. Yeah, I'm having a complete, absolute moment. Yeah, you have your zip facing up. Oh, do you know, I've gone completely blank. How bizarre. So you do that. Yeah, so you flip it to that side. Why did I even start that conversation? You saw what I did. I'm getting tired, sorry. Let me pause and think about it. Hang on. Right, I've got it. Oh dear, that was sad. Right, so if you've stitched your first one, you would then have your zip facing up. You put your next front over like that. Put your lining on the back, and you do exactly the same again. I knew, yeah. You saw what to do. I'm getting tired. I think this is about my 4th video today. So, poor me. I know. Right, I'm going to leave it there, and then I'll show you the stitching on a separate video, because we can do the stitching. I can show you how to turn the zips through, how to do the top stitching to finish it off, and that will be sort of a good half-hour video. And yeah, one slight thing, if you want to put a handle in, if you want to make a grab handle for it, completely up to you. I've done one on this one. If you do, you need to put it in now, and what I tend to do is sandwich it between the two fronts. So let me explain that a little bit better. So for instance, if this was your handle, you've sewn it, yeah, you can see you've sewn it into a handle. Okay, what you do is, let's pretend this is a handle. Okay, so that's your handle. You put it inside like that. Okay, inside roughly where you want it. I tend to put it up, you know, up close to the zip. Put it in there, clip it, and then when you stitch it in, it will, when you turn the bag through, it will flop out to the side. Yeah, and the rest of it is after we've stitched. Okay. Right, Susie's going to go and get a cup of tea. Speak to you later. Bye.